Hello, folks. My name is Sam. I'm from Maui, Hawaii. Welcome to the Unity Podcast, where I hope to bring a sense of community in these challenging times by talking to people across the country and delivering hope. My aim is to connect people so they don't feel alone in this challenging time and so that we do not let our fears consume us. Today I'm joined by my friends Aaron once again, Tori, and my cousin Eliza. How you guys doing?
Hey. Just a little tired. I got toilet paper. I'm very happy. But you had to wait in line? No. I saw a local pharmacy that was getting a delivery, and went inside, and I saw that they were doing it really well. They were handing out and limiting people from buying too many things of toilet paper. They were giving out like 2 per customer, and yeah.
Nice.
That's how you do it.
Because we're still getting shipments. You don't need to freak out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was talking to Aaron earlier before we started recording, and I mentioned that the thing that the media is neglecting to mention, and I think that it's only serving to just bolster the panic, is the sheer amount of people that have recovered. Because now it's over 80,000. So it's like 83,400 and something people across the world have recovered. And I just want to say, we have to keep that in mind. Because young and elderly have recovered. So keep that in mind.
There's like a mid 80% of the people who get the virus and test positive recover.
Yeah. So the best thing that you can do, and none of us are medical professionals, obviously, but the best thing that you can do is continue practicing good hygiene. Keep washing your hands, 20 seconds. You can sing that song in your head by Rick Astley. Never Gonna Give You Up. Jesus Christ. Or Happy Birthday. I guess that's what a lot of people are doing. But
yeah, I think they're singing it. If you sing Happy Birthday, you do it twice.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask, how's the atmosphere where you guys are at now? So anyone can answer. Doesn't matter. Have you noticed a change?
Walmart in Texas. Sorry, my throat is like so not happy. It's because of the pollen. Because I know it's because of the pollen because it's more of like a wet cough and all that stuff. It's not dry cough like the other symptoms. Like the really have to start the cough here.
Yeah.
But no, when it comes to the panic buying, I'm pretty sure it's here too because the Walmart are overflowing and the HEBs have lots of people in them. So, yeah, it's definitely here in Texas.
And in New York.
And in Alabama.
I have a friend who saw people earlier buying, like just one customer would buy packs and packs of toilet paper, not planning to use it all, but planning to resell it.
Wow.
Yeah, Yeah, and
So I think the
I'm just
store
glad that
putting a limit is good.
yeah, they're putting a limit, and I think the authorities are actually, you know, I don't know if they're prosecuting, but they are investigating. And I know the online stores like Amazon and eBay are cracking down on resellers too. So hopefully the resellers will
Good.
check that.
Yeah. And have you noticed that, like, are people, are they, like, going out, kind of, like, just going about their day still, or is everyone largely, like, still hunkering down at home?
I went out to the gas station today to get a few drinks. I didn't want to go to Walmart or Hometown or the dollar store. I just went down to the little gas station here, and there was a person there, and then there was a person behind the counter, and they were just doing their normal thing. So I think people are just kind of doing their thing around here. It's 50-50 around here. I'll see people kind of out and about. Like I'm trying not to be out myself, but I see people going to the store and everything. But you know, I don't know if people are out to get stuff or not because I don't stop and ask.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it's 50-50. Because there are people that, like me and my grandma, we don't really believe in the whole hype of bulk buying and all that stuff right now. But we do believe in staying at home and trying not to be around people because that's one of the things that helps is just, staying at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say that's just why I went to the little gas station instead of going to one of the other stores. Because I figured that would be safer. And it's like, but I live on the corner of a pretty busy road, and the cars are just traffic really hasn't slowed down that much on the road up beside me. So I mean, I'm not sure if there's just regular daily stuff or panic. So I'm not sure. So, but that just pretty much stays consistent.
In New York, our mayor and our governor have really taken smart steps to try to control the amount of people in the city just by closing restaurants and bars and kind of giving people not really any reason to gather. Canceling events like Madison Square Garden is shut down. I'm not 100% sure, but I think all those things everyone knows that it's not happening. But today I went kind of in my neighborhood to get my dog's haircut because he needed it, and I didn't know she was going to be there, so when I found out she was, I thought it probably the best thing to do it now in case it shuts down later on. And I wasn't worried about that because there's only one person in the front and then the groomer in the back, and it wasn't bad. And on my way, I ran into a friend in the neighborhood, and she was outside for work, so she's working from home, but she needed some material.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people are out and doing some things, but they're not gathering. I stopped to say hello to her, but we didn't plan to meet each other, and it seemed like she was outside for strictly business too. So it feels like everyone is aware, and if they aren't, there's no reason to go outside anyway. Everything's canceled.
Yeah, I think for the most part, at least my impression is that people are adjusting now. They're adjusting, slowly but surely, and I think people are finding it enjoyable. Not everybody, but some people at least are finding it enjoyable to be at home and just relax. But I understand that there are people out there with children that are kind of struggling right now. They don't know what to do. And, I would say, like, just engage with your children as much as you can. Do some family activities. I know that some parents are actually doing, they're setting up, like, curriculums for homeschooling. So that's good. But the children need to sort of have a peaceful place right now because a lot of them are probably confused as well as to what's going on. Go ahead.
The friend, sorry, I was going to say the friend that I ran into is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She was getting materials to set up a morning classroom by just like videotaping herself, teaching a lesson, and then handing off to the parents to instigate the kids doing it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, there's ways that we can work around this, folks. Keep that in mind. Now, the other thing that I feel is important that I touch on today is a article that was published by the BBC yesterday that states that Australian scientists they're monitoring patient that had come down with COVID-19, mild. Huh?
Tom Hanks is there.
Yeah.
In Australia.
Yeah, and he's under quarantine too. But he'll be okay, guys. He'll be okay. They'll be okay. But yeah, so these Australian scientists, they are actively monitoring this individual. And what's happening is, let me try and find it. But basically, what's happening is that they believe that they've made a breakthrough in that they've discovered in this person's body, as she was sick, her immune system started to secrete these special cells. I think they call them immunocells or something like that. But anyway, these cells were attacking the coronavirus like it would any other flu. And they believe that isolating these special cells will allow them to culture them, which they're trying to do right now. And they also they receive funding from private sectors, as well as Jack Ma, amazing guy from China. He's trying to help. I think he donated $1 billion to their research. So there's good news here and there. You just have to, like take the time to see that. And
inform yourself.
Yeah. And so the other thing is, it says, like an article here on Snopes says, amid all the fears, quarantines, and stockpiling of food, it has been easy to ignore the fact that more than 60,000 people have recovered from the coronavirus spreading around the globe. The vast majority recovers from the virus. So, again, just understand that. But by no means am I saying that you should just go out and do whatever the hell you want to because of that. Just because you feel fine doesn't mean that other people have the same degree of immunity strength that you do. So.
And I'd also like to add that just because we're saying that 80% recover or whatever, we're not saying that those who don't are disposable or anything like that. The immunosuppressed and the elderly, we're not trying to say anything like that.
Yeah.
We're just trying to keep hope alive that, it's going to be okay. Because I know there's a lot of people who are really mean right now, saying they don't care. I'm not saying anybody here is. I'm just saying it's going around the internet, and we don't want anybody to think that's what we're saying.
It's really easy to not care until something really affects you.
Exactly.
But you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to fear that it can happen to you because, in fact, it doesn't discriminate. You're not sick if you're young. You're not sick. You're healthy. Those people have gotten the disease as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I also wanted to mention, may sound a little bit cheesy, but this morning, when I got up and I saw the sun coming out, I felt that just like the sun rising, that and breaking through the clouds, that the world will get through this, and the sun will shine on us as a whole again. So
I don't think that's easy.
I'm glad you don't, but we'll get through this.
Exactly.
It's not the end of the world, guys. It's not the end of the world.
Being positive is nothing at all a death sentence. It is over 80-something% recovered when they already tested positive before.
Yeah. Yeah, so, what we have to do is we have to come together. We have to support one another in any way that we can. And if we can get a dialogue like this, where people can engage with each other, can just talk about anything, I think that's a good way for people to feel more relaxed because they're getting their mind off of things.
It helps me just talking to you guys. I know it helps to hear that we're all in the same position, the same or similar fears.
Yeah, so now I wanna just kind of ask, what are your guys's what are your hobbies now? Like, what are you guys doing?
I've been saying, I've just been super focused on Skyrim. I've really gotten back into that game that I actually have not even beat it yet, and I got it when it first came out. So I'm really trying to stick with it and beat it this time.
Good. I haven't played Skyrim in, I don't know how long.
Yeah, it's been years.
And
Games are perfect.
yep. Tori, how about you? What are you doing to keep yourself occupied?
Laundry, that's way overdue. I'm getting back into what I call sketching because there's a difference in my mind between sketching and drawing. Sketching is little scribbles here and there that make an amalgamation into a image. And then with drawing, you already have an image in your mind and you draw it onto the paper. But with sketching, it's like drawing something in that moment. Or like, does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
On paper.
So I finally got myself a sketch pad that's for colored pencils because that's what I like more than markers because with colored pencils I can actually control if I want it to be lighter or darker with the easier to play with the pressure, yeah. So I've been doing that more. It's been really fun, and my man's into it too. So one thing that we did that was really cool as a date is we went to our favorite sushi place, and then after we were full of food, we went to the it's really like a feeding fish pier where there's like a little opening in the center that the fish can freely come up to from the lake, and you can see them, and it's actually really cool. There's some I think carp in there. I could be wrong. That's cool. There's a few different types of fish in the lake that's near me. Anyway, they have, benches that you can look out onto the lake and see everyone boating and see all the houses and all this stuff. And we sketched what we saw. And it was really cool because I sketched something that was more out in the distance, and he sketched he sketched all of it. You know what I mean? And it's really cool to see that when two people are sketching because, we weren't telling each other what we had in mind. We just said, okay, let's sketch, and then we did it. And yeah, it was really fun. So that's awesome. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing that more often because I used to do abstract painting when I was really little, and those are fucking cool. Sorry for the cursing, but that's awesome, And then when you look at them now, you're like, you were hell when you did that because it looks like it could be in a museum or something or gallery or something. So yeah, I'm really glad that I'm starting to go back to what I do love to do. It's just a different version of it. And then I'm still doing my photography here and there. That's forever going to be my favorite thing because with that, I find beauty in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, one thing that therapeutic. Huh? Very therapeutic. It really is. Especially the way that I do it. I go out and I don't think of what I want to take a picture of. I just walk around kind of aimlessly. Like, I know where I am, obviously. But, I just, whatever catches my eye, I take a picture of and then move on. So, that's another thing I'm doing. And the last one, I don't know. That's the only hobbies that I can definitely, point out for y'all. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I've just been gaming, watching shows. Yeah. And yeah. And I'm thinking about getting into drawing because I can't draw to save my fucking life. So, there are some drawing books that I have that I think I'm going to dive into. And thankfully, I never ever thought I'd say this, but thankfully the sun is out. But
well, now's the perfect time to start to draw, even if you can't.
Right.
Yeah. Because the only thing that's going to improve it is practice. Even if you're born with the ability to draw exceptionally well, everybody can draw. It just takes practice. And I have it too. Yeah, I agree with her. It's a great time to learn. Any time is a great time to learn. But no, Sam, what I did when I first started my sketching with my colored pencils is I would do a pencil first that I knew I could erase. But I just started sketching landscapes, and you're in Hawaii, so it's perfect. You can sketch the mountains, you can sketch the waves and the beaches. It doesn't have to be detailed yet. Just start doing shapes, basic shapes, yeah. Or landscapes, like the shape of a mountain and stuff. Yeah. That might help you legitimately. I hope it does.
And also, if you get frustrated, not everyone can just, it's very difficult for some people to be creative or get something to look the way they want it to. I really enjoy coloring too. Just the act of completing something feels really great.
Yeah.
I love the coloring book, so I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of those weird people that I could draw just kind of naturally. I love coloring them. And I'm starting to take up cooking, which is also, I think, artistic. It has that same therapeutic, like, rhythmic thing to it. Definitely having something complete. Nice.
And as I'm not to lose my train of thought here. Drawing and stuff. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the type of person that when I draw, I can't just pick something in my mind. I have to, like, a lot of people I know are able to just draw from memory without having to look at anything or just come up with something out of their imagination. I can't personally do that. I have to actually look at something. So what I used to do is I used to draw pictures from a coloring book or stickers or something that was kind of simple but something I could see and follow the design. And that really helped me, practice too. So he's always looking at doing that too.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing I would say is, like, if you have kids and you may not necessarily want to use technology, like any kind of arts and crafts, but hopefully nothing too messy. But
Yeah.
I know when I was a kid, I used to color. I found that to be very soothing. And puzzles. Yep, puzzles. And if any of you have those, God, remember those I Spy books?
Yep. Oh yes, I Spy, Where's Waldo, and those magic find books where you had to put the book really close to your face and then slowly pull it away.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's in it.
Yeah. So
those were always fun too. Ooh, another great activity to do with the family, Mad Libs.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Mad Libs.
Pictionary, anything like that. Game nights. We can start bringing back, those game nights, for whole families. Those are always fun. Except Monopoly.
Well, if, a friend in my on my live stream right now is saying that her kids love to work out, so she does that with them. Yeah. So yeah, you can do that. I mean, exercising is important now too. I mean, it should have always been important to begin with, but it's definitely important now. Because if you get
that's kind of like a puzzle to figure out how to exercise with your household objects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or
before I bought some little weights to exercise with, I was using cans of food cans to work out with, and then I was finally able to get some weights. But if you don't have any weights, just use some cans. That works really good.
Yep. Or if you want to be if you want to be weird and you don't have those weights or anything like that, you can just get a stack of books
Yeah.
and then
Books always work. Anything.
do sit-ups with those.
I've even heard of people lifting the gallons of milk, gallons of water to work out with them.
Yep.
If they didn't have legs or anything, so you use that too.
Yeah. Oh man, 200. If you do like a set of 200 or 200 reps with a 5-gallon or a 1-gallon thing of milk, you'll feel it. Yeah.
I have a 19-pound dog, and I sometimes lift him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Joint activity.
Yeah, Abby, my puppy, is now 21 pounds, I think, when she last got checked with the vet a couple weeks ago. And I still have to sometimes carry her in from outside, so that's a little bit of a workout too.
Yeah.
Well,
Found a great YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out. It's called, the show is called The Hot Ones, and if you look that up, you'll find it. It's this guy who's an amazing interviewer, and he just has guests, and they're like movie stars or in the music industry or sports.
I watch that all the time. I love Sean and First
It's great.
He's amazing. My favorite one so far is when he had Gordon Ramsay on there.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Hart is amazing.
I looked at they have like highlighted ones.
Yeah, it was so cool too because they've had so many people on there. Another one of my favorites was when they had Ian Hill on there interviewing them.
And I haven't really discovered this, so I'm just going through all of it right now. I think I'm watching the playlist, and it's also very organized. I'm watching the playlist of the second season now. Great.
And if
another great, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say another great YouTube channel is Cinema Sis. I love absolute cinema, as in like the movie cinema, and then Sim, all one word. And what Jeremy does is he's like, the motto of his YouTube is there's no movie without sin. Every movie has sin, basically. And he takes all the movies, old, new, and he sends them. And he's even got branches that he does with TV sins, where he sends all the TV shows, and then music video sins, where he sends music videos. He's hilarious, and all the movies he does are great, and the sins, like, I highly recommend you check out the Fast and the Furious playlist that he has on Cinema Sins because it's hilarious. Yeah, because he does not like the Fast and Furious movies, so.
I think, speaking on that, I really think they should have stopped after the what was it, the 7th one? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, they're just reaching for money.
Oh yeah. Because one of the parts in one of the later Fast and the Furious movies, on when he sent it, ended up breaking the sin counter. So it's hilarious to watch. You really need to watch it. Highly recommend it.
I also love America's Funniest Home Videos, and they have a whole entire channel, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
If you like that kind of thing, if it makes you laugh, it's a good outlet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Another one that I would recommend if you guys are foodies and you like to see ridiculous stuff, check out Epic Mealtime.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That is not a song.
They make absurd things, but it's really entertaining.
So much bacon.
Yes. Too much.
I'm checking
Too
it
much.
up now, and I don't know if I'm more nauseated or impressed.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
What was it? He made one of the things that they made on there was I think it was like this table-sized burger that was stuffed with macaroni and cheese.
Yep.
And bacon, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
What was which one was it that they made all the different things with Dr. Pepper? Where they made all those different Dr. Pepper things?
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they were using it was Dr. Pepper or Coke or something, and they were using it in everything. Yeah.
Like, I can't remember all the stuff they used it in, but it was hilarious.
And Rooster Teeth, if you guys haven't heard about them, they're really good. You should check them out. They do podcasting, and they're
And Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, they're famous for Red vs. Blue. Came out in the early 2000s. But definitely, the main thing is right now you want to try and keep yourself occupied with other things. And also, again, keep in mind, like we mentioned earlier, because there's some people that are joining now on the live stream. But what we mentioned earlier is that there's now 83,400 recoveries from this virus. So please keep that in mind. Don't let the media is they're fanning the flames right now, basically. So try and keep yourself composed. If not for yourself, then please do so for other people that might be living with you, especially if you have someone elderly. You need to be strong for them because we have to set an example. Don't be like the morons that are down in Florida right now. In the beach.
Watched that on. Yeah, I saw that on the news earlier where they're all at the beach because they haven't closed down the beaches yet.
Yep, that's not good. I mean,
yeah.
But
I want to cause alarm because I don't believe in panicking. It doesn't solve anything. It's not a good use of your time. And to help that, you need to just read more about it. You don't want to watch the news. It is feeling like they're getting the plane, and it is a lot to take in constantly. It's constantly going. But yeah, just take it in at your own pace, and I find that it helps to read about it instead. I look at the New York Times, check out different news outlets online. But what we're seeing right now is they keep talking about the peak weight. We're going to see that regardless of what we do, and people need to understand the importance of keeping your distance and having this sort of self-quarantine, regardless of the numbers, because they are going to go up.
Yeah.
You don't have to be afraid of that because that's going to happen. It was always going to happen. If you know about your diet,
especially with more testing going to be hopefully being done, because so many people are struggling to get tested and they're getting the runaround because we just don't know what's going on right now and how to get tested. And so the more people are tested, the more positive results. So the numbers are going to go up. But that doesn't mean that it's something to panic about. That's just what's going to happen. Yeah, that's just
already here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, and the
I know. I talked to my friend who's a school teacher, and I ran into her today on the street. And a few minutes after I saw her, she called me and told me that she has a doorman downstairs in her apartment building, and one of the tenants there came down very, very sick, came down to the lobby and picked up a package that they hold downstairs sometimes, and she told the doorman downstairs that she was afraid that she has the virus because she's very sick at the moment, and this woman was in China a month ago. So everything kind of adds up. They are telling people, if you're feeling sick, stay at home because all you're going to be doing is resting. That's all you're going to go home with instructions for. And yeah, you have to make sure that you're being healthy and keeping your immune system up and doing everything you would for a flu or a cold. And don't lose hope because the majority of people recover from this. But I did want to bring that up, however scary it is, and I don't really want to talk about where this is because people just jump to conclusions. But this woman is being very safe, and she's doing exactly what she needs to be doing. But we were told that the last time she flew, which was to China, was about a month ago. So she's been here. She's probably been sick since she flew from China.
mm-hmm.
So if we're thinking about that, we can kind of brace ourselves for the kind of numbers we're going to see. And it's not to be putting yourself down about or really freaking out. It's not just growing every day. I mean, it is, but it's already been here. It's already affected everybody. That's why we're quarantining ourselves.
Yeah.
Can't let those numbers grow more.
Yeah. So I just want to mention here. You can find this on Windy app. It's a coronavirus live tracker. It's updated with real-time numbers as they come in. But the interesting thing is, as we are seeing we're seeing a increase in the amount of cases, obviously. But as those go up, we're also seeing a steady increase of recoveries right beneath that. So even though as of yesterday, the total for the world was at 208,457 confirmed cases. But there was also 82,909 recoveries. And the lowest track on this graph is the deaths, which is still, it's 8,279 as of yesterday. But in terms of global population and how many people are recovering, that's still fairly small. Of course, the goal is to prevent that from getting, way much higher. But don't freak out if you hear things like confirmed cases, or if you hear something like, oh yeah, Washington has 20 new confirmed cases. Like, just, that doesn't mean that it's going to be 20 deaths. I just wanted to mention that. There is another. Yeah. So again, as we've mentioned several times here is that as more testing is available, those confirmed cases are going to go up. That's just a given. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But like.
I would like to, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was supposed to say, going along with that thought, yeah, please don't panic as the cases go up because, that's going to happen with the more testing we do. But at the same time, please, take this serious. Don't panic, but, stay at home as much as you can. Wash your hands. But, don't be nonchalant about this because it is, something serious. But there's a difference between taking precautions and being smart and panicking. And we're wanting everybody to be smart about it and not to panic.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't taking this serious enough and continue going out and doing their own thing without regard for anybody else, it will spread more and more. And it will spread to those who may not recover so easily. And that's what we're wanting to avoid. Hashtag don't be a spreader.
Yeah. And hashtag don't be arrogant.
Exactly.
Now it says, yeah. Now, according to New York Times, it says in the United States, the number of known coronavirus cases in the United States continues to grow. As of Wednesday evening, there have been at least 8,017 cases of coronaviruses confirmed by lab tests and 143 deaths. So, people are getting. It's a fine line right now because people are getting confused on like when they hear cases and they think cases mean death. That's not it. But like Aaron said, at the same time, don't be nonchalant. Because we have to protect our elders and we have to protect children who may be susceptible to this, as well as even people in our age group. People in the 20s and 30s that may have other health issues. But for the most part, huh?
Like people need to act with kindness.
Yes.
Don't put yourself in other people's shoes.
Exactly.
And understand that, like, you need to make people feel safe if they feel sick so that they come forward and they take the necessary precautions. If we make people feel like they need to also fear saying their truth, we're going to have a whole lot of people that are sick and not doing the necessary precautions and infecting more people.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I want to say real quick, though, is I'm pushing through each day by believing in us as a species. I have to believe. Because look at everything that we've been able to accomplish during our time here. When we've come together and we've put our heads together. We've created some wonderful, amazing things. We've created engineering marvels. We've built civilizations. We've brought people together. And that is what being human is all about. It's about community. It's about propelling each and every one of us forward together. And I have to believe that we can do this. We are doing this. And I think if anything, if people should take anything from this whole experience that we're all sharing right now, it's that we understand the value of each other more than ever before. and we understand how precious our planet is. That's probably one of the more fundamental lessons to be learned here, is that we have a very symbiotic relationship with the planet and everything on it. We cannot afford to go back to the way things used to be done. We are going to get through this, but things will change, but we are adaptable.
I have a question for you guys. Is anyone thinking about like being a vegetarian and sort of cutting out meat? Since this is a mass sort of the way that we treat our livestock. I think that this is where this comes from. These animals weren't supposed to be in such big numbers, so tightly packed together, and they're saying that this virus is the cause of, is a product of that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't. No.
Very matter of factly.
I'm not meaning to be mean about it. I like meat too much.
Yeah, I
as American, so vegetarian isn't in my dictionary. I do agree, though, wholeheartedly, that the way that we get our meat isn't the best way to do it. I've seen ways in Sweden, I believe, and other countries where they actually care about the meat, they care about the livestock, and they put them to sleep very organically before getting the meat. Yeah, I say that's a way better way to do it than the slaughterhouses that we have right now. But we have canines for a reason. And so, we've been eating meat throughout the entirety of human being on Earth. So that will change. Yeah, I'm not talking about for being. Oh, no. And we know you're not. Mm-hmm. We know you're not. It's just for letting you know that it's not going to change. And you are free to be vegan if you want to. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do whatever you want to. As long as you ain't shoving the veganism down our throats, then it's good. But I do agree that, the ways that we get our meat should be changed. Oh, yeah, definitely. So the meat is never going to go away.
Yeah,
carnivorous.
But we
need to understand that we're taking over the world. There's so many people on Earth. To feed us all meat is causing a lot of disruption. So I don't know, I've been thinking about it, and I'm trying to find more pasta meals that I like. I'm just trying to cut back a little.
I think for me personally, I would say maybe about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months now, I started to eat primarily more poultry. I started to move away from so much red meat. And the reason being is that, well, number one, chickens are smaller, so they don't produce as much methane as cows and larger livestock do. And
but SARS, H1N1, the swine flu, all of these things are across the board livestock.
Yeah, that's true.
They're caused from those.
But if you are going to eat, because a lot of people are still going to eat meat, but if you're thinking of going organic, make sure that you go organic, grass-fed.
Organic is great.
And if possible, locally. And by the way, please support your local farmers, because a lot of them are struggling too right now. So if you can purchase produce directly from them, please do so. They are a huge
money in their pocket and not the large.
Yeah, They are a huge lifeline. I mean, we desperately need them. So please support them. And anything else you guys would like to say?
I can't really think of anything else. Not now, at least.
What's some, I just want to say, what do you think we should do on, like, more on this podcast? Because I know that, like, these first, 4 episodes now, wow, but 4 episodes have been basically just, like, talking about the coronavirus and kind of repeating some things. But what would, I think, help you guys just feel more like normal in these podcasts?
Personally, I just prefer it being casual and just talking about whatever pops into our heads at the time. That helps me because it's like, we just talk about whatever, calm and casual, and it's like we don't have to, kind of force a conversation because we're talking about whatever, That helps me remain calm because I'm not, that helps me because I'm not having to think about, I can't say this or I can't say that or I gotta watch what I say or I gotta only have this topic right now. Because that puts a lot of anxiety on me having to watch what I say and everything.
Yeah, I agree. You guys the same?
I don't know, sometimes with podcasts, podcasts I've been on before, it was kind of like an underlying topic, but it was mostly speaking freely. Yeah. And I like that because it gives you a base instead of being like a little mini ping pong and just going every which way, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, and that's not a bad thing half the time. Yeah. If we had a set topic, but it was a broad set topic, that would be fun. Just like, unless it was like, okay, today we're talking about movies in general. Movies in general instead of just like Jaws. If we make it broad, like movies in general, that helps me instead of focusing on one particular movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we use one point to make facts off each other with our different opinions.
Yeah. I also just posted a helpful that needs to be spoken about too right now is people who have mental health issues, whether that's anxiety, depression to varying degrees. This whole situation is triggering a lot of people, and it really does. It tends to bring out feelings of like despair, hopelessness, feeling alone, and you're not alone. We're dealing with that too, but if we can talk to each other, if we can communicate, as long as we got this, we're good. So I think with that, I'm just gonna say I'll end the live stream on Facebook now. But for those of you that did tune in, I appreciate it. I will be again posting this on YouTube, and you can check out my YouTube channel. Is Electric Panda 808, all one word. And I'll also write it here in the chat. But and I'll also be putting it on SoundCloud, and my SoundCloud is SoundCloud / the Unity Podcast, all one word. And if you could like that and share it, and maybe even follow my SoundCloud, I would very much appreciate it, because this is all very new to me. It's an experiment, and I'm trying to get it off the ground, because it helps me as well as hopefully helping all of you. And just remember, stay safe, but don't panic. The sun will shine on us again. Trust me. We'll get through this, and when we do, we'll have a newfound appreciation for our fellow human being, as we should. We should have done that in the first place. But we'll get through it. Okay, America, we'll get through it. Stay united, stay strong. The world, also stay united and stay strong. And I love all of you. And I'll hopefully we'll do this every day. And maybe next time I go on live stream, I would love to have suggestions from the audience. So if you guys could throw those out too, that'd be awesome. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys tomorrow.